Hello everyone. Today I will give an update on my skin condition and the progress that has been made since the last time. Just to recap, a year and a half ago I started having skin trouble on my head and face and neck. Basically it was bumps with red rashes. They resembled acne at times or warts, different skin, psoriasis, whatever, eczema, all those things. But mostly it was just, like I said, bumps and red spots. For many months, I thought it was fungal acne, so I was treating it as such, taking antifungal medications, creams, pills, changing my diet to go antifungal diet, and I was also putting baking soda on my skin and some other stuff. Baking soda worked, was one of the things that worked the best. But in that time, my skin simply stayed under control. It wasn't entirely resolved. And about a year into this journey, the skin journey, I came upon the idea that it was skin mites living on my skin causing these problems. So immediately I started treating for skin mites, and within a few days, almost immediately, my conditions or my symptoms quickly fixed or improved dramatically. And I'll share with you what has been best or has worked the best for skin mites, because there's a lot of information about fungal acne and just acne in general, eczema, but not about skin mites. It's underdiagnosed. It's under known that a lot of the skin problems are being caused by skin mites, specifically Demodex mites. There's two kinds of Demodex mites, and then there's different kinds of scabies. There's a lot of them. There's many different species, and people around the world will have different kinds of species living on them. Come to know, once this caught on my radar, I was able to look for telltale signs of what are called scabies. Those were not the ones that were on my head and face. And all of this is microscopic. You can't see it on the naked eye. They're very, very small. You need a microscope, a powerful microscope to see this stuff. But yeah, I found stuff living on my body, like little lines and scars here and there that had been there for years. Nothing big, but I would notice like on my back, "Oh, what is that little scar? Is it a scratch mark or something?" Turns out they were skin mites, but different kinds living on different parts of the body. Nothing major. The major stuff was up here, and those are caused by Demodex on my scalp and head, face. Right now, as you can see, my skin looks very good. I'm actually back to normal. I'd simply take maintenance doses of stuff, which I'm very happy about. So the first thing that really worked for me was DEET, and DEET can be bought at any corner store or Rite Aid type of store, Walmart. It's very common, used as an insect repellent. In this case, I got this from Walmart, 40% DEET. It comes in different percentages. For this 40%, I only used spot treatment, but this was the first thing that I used at 10%. I covered my whole face and head with it. Basically, DEET. But be careful with this stuff. You don't want to overdo it because it is neurotoxic in high amounts. It'll give you Parkinson's disease. When I first used it, I had 10% wipes, and I put DMSO in it and covered my whole head and face with it and left it on for an hour. Yeah, later on that day and the day after, I felt woozy, did not feel right. So you want to be careful with this stuff. Now it's just spot treatment. The single best thing that I was able to find was moxidectin. In my research, I found that moxidectin is a relatively new drug and it's used for these conditions that I'm talking about, skin mites and other parasitic infections. Moxidectin is prescription required in the United States, but if you go to pet sources or pet supplies, you can get it without a prescription. Here, for instance, I was able to get this on Walmart, I think, or eBay, one of those, for like 20, 25 bucks. And this is intended for use in horses or with horses as a dewormer moxidectin. But It's the same ingredient that your doctor would prescribe you. You just have to measure or adjust the dosage for your body weight. So this is actually a lot because it's intended for a horse up to 1,500 pounds. I only weigh like 250 or 60 pounds, so you just make the adjustment. But moxidectin is a kind of a new drug. It's similar to ivermectin, or it's based in the same class of drug, but it's newer. It says it's supposedly very safe. It lasts longer than ivermectin. It reaches the skin more. This could be used topically or orally. When I first got this, my skin was pretty good already, but when I first used it, I broke out in sores. I think it may have been a die-off from, the mites, the Demodex. And so I got sores on my face for like a week. Then they went away gradually, but I think it was a reaction to the moxidectin. And this, again, that's quite a bit. It stays in the body up to a month. Here is another one, ivermectin. This has been around since 1980 or so, the wonder drug. This is something that is typically prescribed by the doctor. If you go to the doctor, say, I have scabies, I have skin mites, Demodex, whatever. Very often, ivermectin is prescribed. Same thing, it's an anti-parasitic. I got this on eBay, Amazon, under different names. This is called Duramectin, but you'll get Ivermax, a lot of different names. Again, 20, 25 bucks, maybe even cheaper. I think I got this for 15 or $16. Same thing, the horse, right? It's for horse, so adjusted dose. Exact same drug that your doctor would prescribe. If you have a doctor and you have a good trust and communication with your doctor, yeah, go to your doctor and just ask them to prescribe you ivermectin or moxidectin. But if you don't have a regular doctor, or you don't want to wait for the doctor to make the appointment and so on, you can just go ahead and buy this yourself, because once you search for it as intended for horses or animals, dogs, whatever, you don't need a prescription. Or at least if you do, they don't care. The sellers don't care. Amazon is not going to question you for it. Now, in my search for knowledge about this and people who have suffered, because other people have suffered much more than I have from reading the stories. I read a story about one guy who dealt with a skin condition on his back for 10 years, and he tried all kinds of different things, but what ended up working was when he treated it as a mite infestation. And the way he treated it was ivermectin as well as metronidazole, because he read a study that was made, sufferers of scabies were treated with ivermectin and metronidazole, and those who were treated with both metronidazole and ivermectin improved better than ivermectin alone. But again, metronidazole is prescription required in the United States. I did research into metronidazole and how to get it if you don't have a doctor or you don't want to wait for the doctor. And there is an easy way to get metronidazole. And the way is this. This is called General Cure by API, and this is to treat fish tanks with fish in those tanks. It treats parasitic fish disease, basically. And what is this? This is metronidazole. They also include another anti-parasitic called Paraquel or something. I forgot the name. But the main ingredient is metronidazole. The secondary ingredient is the other one. And this one is pretty good because it comes in packs, and the packs have, I think, 250 milligrams of metronidazole per pack. And this is powder in the pack. You can put this topically, dissolve it in water, put it topically, or simply drink it. If you're going to drink it, be forewarned, this tastes quite bad. It's not unbearable, but it doesn't taste good. It's pretty salty and has a bit of a sour, tangy flavor. It does not taste good, I'll tell you that. So you dissolve it in a little cup with some water, just enough to get a good liquid going, and drink it as fast as you can, and that's it. This with ivermectin has been endorsed by people. It's been proven to work very good in conjunction with each other. You can get this at the pet supply. You can get it at Amazon, eBay for about $15 to $20. It's pretty cheap. It comes with 10 packs. I've been using it. I think it's working. I mean, this is real medicine. If you go to the doctor, if you go to places around the world, they'll prescribe this for people who are suffering from parasitic infections of different sorts. This is cures. It cures people. It helps you people. But again, don't want to wait for the doctor. You can get at your general pet store, fish store, or a PetSmart, or whatever the hell, Amazon, API General Cure, right? So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing other stuff too, like apple cider vinegar, especially I combine it with Indian clay, bentonite clay, also marketed as Indian clay mask, and used all kinds of stuff. I still use baking soda topically. But these are my silver bullets. Another thing I should mention is that I tried, there's a lot of stuff out there. I tried flea and tick wipes. These are natural ones. These have plant-based ingredients, peppermint oil, eugenol. So I've tried this too. I also tried, because I'm afraid of the pesticide. I'm afraid of the DEET. This was before I got moxidectin and ivermectin and metronidazole, right, as horse and fish product. So I was also using this natural bug spray basically instead of a powerful chemical ingredients, laboratory made like permethrin or DEET. This has clove oil, peppermint oil, cinnamon oil. This is also has peppermint oil, something called and sodium laurate sulfate to give it a lather. These dry out a bit, so I was spraying this onto the wipe and then putting it on my face. It doesn't give you that weird effect, the fatigue, the dizziness of DEET or permethrin in large amounts. But I really don't know if this stuff was working because by then I had already cleared up from the DEET. And then shortly afterward, I used this for a few weeks as maintenance because it was easy to use and didn't have much in the way of a side effect. And you could put it on and go about your day because with baking soda, even though it's very effective, it's you have a mask on your face. Same thing with bentonite clay. It dries off, begins to flake and cake, and you have to rinse, but not with the natural bug sprays or bug wipes. But best bet is moxidectin. It fell out. Here's the tube that it comes in. You have to be really careful with these things. When it's time to get the gel out, it's in a gel. These don't taste bad. Neither does moxidectin or ivermectin. The way they make them, they put some flavor. They don't really taste bad. But when you push this thing, when it's time to get the gel out, you want to cover or have something in front of the front part. Maybe I use bread or a banana or fruit because as you pushed it, it can really fly out. I had one instance where the first time I was pushing it out, I thought I was using a good measured press, but it slid quickly and it spilled out, it flew across the room. So now I put something in front and then I do it very gently. Sometimes it still comes out too quick, but if you have something in front, it will capture that. But your best bet, silver bullet, are your DEET, especially for spot treatment. And this, I only used it on the skin. I didn't drink DEET nor permethrin. But this you can just eat it or put it on your skin. Moxidectin is probably your best bet. It's a better version of ivermectin. I got ivermectin anyway. And also metronidazole. And then the combination moxidectin, ivermectin, metronidazole, orally or topically. I was mostly eating them. And spot treatment, DEET, baking soda. I had other things. I was working with MMS too, Miracle Mineral Solution, sodium chlorite basically, but that's for another video, I think. That one's a tricky one to use. I don't want to talk about that one on this video. I should make a separate video for that. If you want to try natural insecticide. All right. So I hope this helps for people who are suffering with skin conditions. Okay. Goodbye.